Hi guys, welcome to Reality with T. So we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiance the other way today. Let's get started. So I'm going to start with Jenny and Sumit because we haven't seen them in a couple of episodes. So basically we start out with Jenny talking about how she knew Sumit's parents. So I always think it's kind of funny that they act like, we just always hear a big secret with everybody. I swear every couple has a big secret. They have a big secret from each other because Sumit, remember, he was lying the whole first season. And then they have a big secret from us. Like, who knew that Asuelo had parents that lived a couple states away? Who knew that Jenny actually, all as scared as she is of his parents, and they're going to kidnap him, they're going to keep him, they're going to take him from me, rip him from my arms, this whole thing, that she actually knew them very well and lived with them for several months. So basically, we found out that we talked to, they talk about, Sumit is going to go talk to his parents, and basically he's going to bring Jenny, and he's going to talk about how much he loves her and the whole thing. So then, we end up meeting Sumit's parents finally. So they tell the producers or the cameras that basically in 2013, they met Jenny as Sumit's Facebook friend. And she came over and she asked to stay for 2 to 3 days with them. And they said yes, but she ended up staying for about 4 months. And basically, Jenny says, the parents wanted to believe that we were just friends. She said she lived on the 3rd floor, and basically Sumit would just, when they went to sleep, Sumit would come up to the 3rd floor, they would lock the door, do their thing, and he would go downstairs in the morning and act like nothing happened. So basically, you moved into these people's houses. They didn't want to believe this. You let them believe that. You were not honest with them. You were being shady. They thought you were a friend because obviously, like the parents said, she is too old for him. We thought she was a friend. We thought that she was interacting with him as if he were a son. We didn't know she was in an inappropriate relationship with our son. So basically, they were disrespecting his parents' home by saying, she's a Facebook friend, but really you were getting it on with her son upstairs on a 3rd floor bedroom. So I understand why his parents are mad, don't trust you, and don't want you to be with their son, that you disrespected them. So the parents basically said, the mother and the father said he is too old. She is too old for him. No, we do not approve of her being with him. The father says we want grandkids and we feel like this smashed our dreams. And the mother admits, he has never been this distant from us. Basically, they want the relationship with their son before. And she said that she loses sleep. She misses her son. And, I'm sure she cries about it because it's like, first of all, it seems that Jenny is older than his parents. It's like, what happened here? We opened up our home. We welcomed her as a friend. We're thinking that you see our son as a son, and then you end up smashing him in the 3rd floor of our room for several months, and then you're going to talk about you're in love with him. So I guess that's the reason why they put him in an arranged marriage, because it's like, let's get you with somebody your own age, so you could be in like an unproductive relationship. And then, he's still in love with Jenny. So we're going to see how this goes. But now I feel like Jenny's real shady. They always, we always see it from the person's perspective who the show is about. But what about the other people? What do you mean they wanted to believe we were just friends? No, you allowed them to believe you were just friends. And that's the shady part. So Ken and Armando, really quickly, the daughters are leaving. They're wishing them well. Basically, they're preparing to go drive the 4 hours to go pick up Armando's daughter, Hannah. And they're going to introduce Ken to Armando's parents. And he's very nervous about it. He honestly looks like he's about to like pee his pants because he can't, in the car, he can't even talk about it. Like he doesn't want to do it. Ken is trying to be very positive. I'm sorry you have to go through this, the whole thing, but I don't think he has any idea what Armando is going to have to go through when they get there. So we'll see. Jihoon and Devin, the mother's driving home. She's flying home, and basically she says she has a 39-hour flight. So I saw everybody on the blogs talking about it. How is her flight 39 hours, the whole thing? But I'm guessing she has a layover somewhere. She probably has 3 or 4 flights. We don't know what's happening, but she says she's going to be on her long flight. They were drinking tea, like Reality with tea. They went to like a little tea parlor, and they're drinking different teas. And they talk about Alicia, that's the mother's name. She talks about how she is afraid. and that she is leaving, you know, Devin and the two kids alone with Jehoon because she feels like Jehoon is like a 16-year-old boy. And basically she tells Devin, you're screwed. I feel like you're screwed and I'm very scared for you. And she gives a metaphor of a train. I feel like I'm watching a train go and the bridge has already fallen and I'm seeing the train go in that direction. And basically I'm just waiting for the train to fall off the bridge, which really was kind of not supportive and kind of discouraging if you're leaving me in that situation. But I guess that's the way that she just that's the way that she expresses herself, her feelings. So basically, you know, they talk about how she talks about how she's afraid because Jehoon isn't ready basically to take care of them and his parents enable him. So, you know, Jehoon, then they show Jehoon really quickly at home with the kids. And, you know, Drusilla's a wild child. She's punching them and everything. And then you see the mother going to say goodbye to the kids, and Drusilla's jumping up and down on the bed. They told her 3 or 4 times, don't jump on the bed. Don't jump off the bed. Don't. I'm like, when are they going to put some bass in their voice? This is why the child doesn't listen, because they never get firm or provide instruction for her. But that's a different story. So then, you know, Devin talks about how she's kind of glad the mother's gone because now that they can see, work on their relationship and see if they can do it themselves. And she sees that Jehoon is on the phone with his mom, and the mother calls him to get her credit card back. And she's like, well, why do you have your mother's credit card? He's like, because I borrowed it so I can buy gas. And she's like, okay, I thought we were going to do this ourselves. Let's stop asking your parents for money. So we'll see. He hasn't stopped. He doesn't plan to stop. So then we have Melissa and Tim, and basically he doesn't think he's going to get a job. So he's talking about how they say, you know, you might have to get married or what have you for you to get a job easily here. And she's kind of like, I'm not ready to get married, not after what we just been through. I'm not going to jump into that because of a job. And he basically says, well, that's why I'm glad I still have my job waiting for me at home. And then she gets upset because he didn't tell her that he had kept his job at home. So, you know, he's like, I'm scared this isn't going to work. I'm sacrificing everything to move here. And she said, well, I didn't ask you to come here and sacrifice everything. And then he says that he feels that she's not committed to it. So why would I give up everything at home if I'm not even sure of your commitment to this relationship? And I can understand what he's talking about, because I mean, we don't know her, but to me, she doesn't seem like she even likes him. So I'm just trying to figure out, where's the chemistry there? Where's their relationship? I don't see it. It looks boring as hell. It looks whack as hell, because I don't see them even liking each other. And so, you know, he says, we have a lot of work to do. And so she says, oh, I didn't know. We do? And then she just looks at him and says, don't look at me. You're annoying. And then he says, and then I think he just like got up and left or something like that. I don't know, their relationship seems like it's not going to work. Because they don't even seem interested in each other. She's never going to forgive him. He can never apologize too much. I don't know how much of his soul he's going to have to sell to try to get back in her good graces, but it doesn't seem like she's ready for it to happen. So I feel like he's going to go on home, back to the house that he has waiting for him and the job he has waiting for him, and keep it moving. That's what I would do, because I don't know if this is even worth it. So Brittany and Yazan. Okay, so basically they tell us that Brittany got an urgent call a few days ago that said that she has a divorce hearing in Chicago in the next 3 days. So she booked herself a flight so she can head back to Chicago and deal with her divorce that she never told Yazan or his family about. So, of course, she doesn't tell him why she's going home. She says her sister's having a baby. She has some business in Chicago. Apparently, her mother had been living in Chicago, and she was staying with her for a few months, and she filed the divorce there. So she didn't hear anything, so she left, and so now they called her. So he can sense that there's something going on. There's something she's not telling him. So he's very sad. You know, I don't want you to leave. I think he's concerned about her not returning. And she's like, I'm definitely going to come back. I just have to handle some business. I don't know what month they're in, but she said something about coming back in the middle of January. And he says at some point, I think that maybe she's lying or playing games. So he knows something is up and she's not telling him something, but he doesn't know what it is. So we're going to have to see if she ever does come clean to him. And she says she was going to tell him, but things have been going so well that she didn't even want to bring it up, which kind of sucks. Like, I know what she means, but really when you start holding back things because you feel like, you know, you're afraid of the person's reaction, it's not a good thing, you know, because you should be able to express yourself and what's going on with you at any time. So we'll see how that goes, and if her divorce actually goes through, and if she can move on with her life with Yazan. And lastly, oh good Lord, that's why I saved them for last. Who do I have here? Where's Ari and Binyam? Oh my goodness. So they're in the apartment, and he says, he looks at her and he's like, you look sad, and she's like, that's just my face. And if you know her face, you know that she can make some serious facial expressions. Okay, so she asked him, how are you going to feel if I leave? She says, we're not getting along, and I just want you to know that I have options. I can leave at any time. I don't have to stay here. And she says, you don't understand me well. And he says, she starts talking about this. He says, well, why are you here? And she's like, because I love you and because of the baby. And he's like, listen, give me time. Give me a week. Give it, like your mother just left yesterday. It's only been a day. Give us some time. We can work on it. You just got here. You have to give Ethiopia a chance. You're not even giving me a chance to get it together. And so, we see them. I guess basically her biggest thing is like, I can't stay in this apartment that doesn't really have, I guess, like the bathroom, the one he showed her doesn't have a bathroom, the kitchen, a floor, the whole thing. And they said it would be ready in a week, and basically it won't. So, they go looking for apartments, and he is concerned. He's like, I don't know if she's going to stay, so he's doing the best he can to try to give her the best life, but it doesn't happen overnight, So they start looking at apartments. Of course, she loves it. It has Wi-Fi. It has everything she needs, a bathroom, hot water, blah, blah, blah. She's so excited. I like this. I want to stay. It's $1,400 a month. And he's like, I can't afford that. He's saying that, he works at the circus. He's a videographer. He's a personal trainer. And he does the dancing in the nightclub. And even with all that, he only makes $500 a month. So he can't afford a $1,400. That's a lot for, an apartment in the United States to pay every month. So, I don't know why she's just kind of like living in, she's another one that has never talked about getting a job or taking care of herself. It's always like, what can you do for me? So, because I think that about Karini on the other show. I'm like, she never, if she's able to work and drive and all these things, why does she not want to go out and do those things for herself? But that's another story. So he says, the thing about his cousin's apartment, I guess that's the one that he's refurbishing, is only $170 a month, and that's doable for him. He cannot pay $1,400 a month, and this is something that you should have worked on before you moved, packed up, and moved everything to Ethiopia. So they get in a cab, and it's like probably the most awkward drive for the cab driver ever. They're arguing, and he is talking about, fixing the apartment, and she's like, I don't know how we're going to take care of this baby. The baby's coming. How are we going to take care of them? And he says he doesn't know. So he doesn't know. He's stressed out. She says, you're stressed out. I'm stressed out. He says, I'm done. And she's like, well, you can't be done because I'm here. You have to do something for me, whatever. He's like, it's been 1 week. He also feels like he can't do anything to keep her happy. Doesn't matter what he does. It's never going to be enough for her. And so she says, well, I'm not staying. And so, they're just back and forth. Basically, she's already unhappy, and, I don't know. Is she going to stay? She says she has a couple weeks to decide because she can still travel for the next few weeks, and she can take herself home. I think she's going to go home. We'll see. I don't know. I don't even see, I don't see the chemistry with them. I don't see the relationship with them. I don't see the like. I think that it was a mistake. I think that they got pregnant by accident, and then she's in some crap that she doesn't want to be in, and she doesn't want to hurt him. I'm sure there is something for him, but once they get past that initial lust stage and it goes into baby and living conditions and this and that, that's when it gets serious, and those are things people don't think about. So then she gets stuck over there in another country where she doesn't know the language. Mom and dad aren't there, friends aren't there, the conditions are way different from America, and then you're complaining. So, we'll see how this goes. This is the mid-season finale, so the next episode is going to be in October. So we have a lot to look forward to see how these stories end. So I hope you will join me then. Talk to you soon. Thank you for joining Reality with T.